great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of disease. Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. Oh, my hair's a little crazy. How's everybody doing? My name is Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're all wearing pink, says Nurse Laura. Rocio is here from Columbus. H&M is visiting us from New York. Hooley's here, keeping track of the comments and everything else, trying to be of service to all of you. I believe that Shabazz and Nasir have connected, so Nasir is very kind and trying to help out Shabazz, so we will keep you posted on that. Nurse Laura is here. How's everybody doing? What's going on? Let me know where you're watching from. I'll be here for the next hour to try to answer your immigration-related questions. I guess, what should we talk about? Well, I guess we'll talk about immigration. I love hearing where you guys are watching from. And I love seeing everybody in the waiting room and everybody who has questions. Come on in. Hooli has posted the link. It looks like there might be a space missing. That link might not work, Hooli, because it says enter and then it goes straight to the HTTPS. So I think you might need to space that out and post it again. Yeah. Cesar is here in Portland. One of our team members, Attorney Ryan, just got admitted into the federal court in Oregon. So now we can easily file lawsuits in the federal court in Oregon. So that's fun. So we are going court by court very methodically, making sure that we either have me admitted or another attorney from the firm admitted or local counsel who can help us file our lawsuits. Julian's watching from London. That's fun. Don Dada is watching from Providence. Tony's in San Francisco, as Tony often is. I just shot a TikTok in the back of the office, and I'm thinking about something. I want to have a contest. I want to have a contest to see who's been waiting the longest for their spouse to come from overseas. And I'm thinking that if I do the contest, maybe I'll do it like once a year, and maybe we could get some publicity for it. And whoever has been waiting the longest, if they'll pay the filing fee, I'll file the lawsuit for them for free. And we'll just see what happens. I think that would be interesting. I think I asked on TikTok, how long have you been waiting for your spouse to come from overseas? So I got a haircut the other day, Glenn. Thank you for noticing. It looks like I got electrocuted a little bit, but plus my fat face because I gained weight again. So I'm looking sort of crazy. It is a macabre contest, Nurse Laura. You're right. It is. But I think it might be a way to highlight how ridiculous the State Department is. Might be interesting. You know, the first time I ever did a naturalization lawsuit, I did everybody all together. And one of the ladies from Bosnia had been waiting for 9 years to get her citizenship. 9 years. So I bet you there's somebody out there who's been waiting more than 2 years since the I-130 was approved. So, you know, in my mind, it's always, when did I first ask the U.S. government to bring my spouse here? So I think we'll start with, you know, the filing date of the I-130, and we'll go that way. Now, we'll have to see. I think it'll get some attention. I think people will be interested in it. I know a lot of people are suffering from the State Department. But yeah, so Vika said they waited 3 years. 3 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Achira is here. Achira, how are you?
I'm fine.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
So what's up?
Hello, Jim. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
So we both got a questions. Just we want some informations. As far as I'm concerned, I am a F1 student for the undergrad doing computer science.
Okay.
So I'm in a final semester, last semesters, and graduating in May. So I have options for OPT, which I am on the process of filing. I have already everything prepared and ready to submit the OPT application for USCSI. So my question is a little bit about my background. I'm a Nepali citizen. I'm Nepal-born German citizen living in the United States, and my parents do have a green card since years. So I came here on F1. Now I have two options, like shall I go for OPT route or shall I go for applying a green card to my mom?
So, do you know about the visa bulletin? Do you know about the backlog on the number of green cards that are available for you as the unmarried son of a lawful permanent resident?
I think it's, if I'm not wrong, it has been a month I have looked at it. I think it might take up to 5 years.
No, it's closer to 10. It's about 9.5 right now.
Okay.
And that wouldn't give you any status to stay in the United States. You would either have to go back to school or do something else. So I mean, you should definitely do OPT. Whether or not you have your mom apply for you, that's a different question. I mean, once your mom applies for you, you've demonstrated immigrant intent, which might make it harder to get a visa in the future if you need to. You know, it's a long wait for you to get any status, and you can't get married.
Okay. So what happens if I apply for OPT, I go for H-1B route, and at the same time my mom applies for, let's say, the green card?
Yeah.
Is it gonna retrieve my F1 status? Is it gonna drop my F1 status if my mom applies for me, or both gonna go simultaneously?
Well, if your mom applies for you, your F1 status is not terminated. So if you did have that whole year of OPT, that would be okay, right? If you got into the H-1B, that'd be really great because, you know, you could sit in that for 6 years and longer, maybe. But again, you'd have to maintain your status outside of just mom filing for you. And of course, you can't get married either. So there's lots of restrictions to it.
But F1 OPT status won't be terminated.
It wouldn't be terminated, but if your visa stamp has expired in your passport and you need to go overseas, they might not give you another F1. Like if you want to get your PhD or something, they might not give you an F1 because you have demonstrated immigrant intent. Now with the H-1B, it's dual intent, so it's okay for you to be on the H-1B and have mom apply that I-130 for you.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I have to go to the H-1B even if my mom wants to apply for it.
Say that one more time.
So I have to at least have H-1B process going on to have my mom apply for me.
Your mom can apply whenever she wants, but just once you do that, that's a bell that you can't unring. Once mom files for you, then for every visa you ever apply for, you're going to have to say that someone has applied for an immigrant visa benefit for you. You have to be honest about that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That was my questions. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm a PhD student, a second year PhD student. So when I go through the immigration laws, I find that there are many options to file for the green card, like EB1, NIW, EB2, NIW. I'm just curious which way is good for me, like going for EB2 or waiting till I complete my degree and file for EB1.
What degree are you applying for? Are you getting?
I'm getting PhD
Computer science.
degree
In what?
In information system.
So I think what you mean to ask me is, Jim, can I get an EB1 approved right after I get my PhD? I think the answer to that question is probably not. EB1 is for people who are like Nobel Prize winners, very, very exceptional. Just finishing your PhD isn't going to get you an EB1.
And what about the EB2? I mean,
maybe. I mean, everybody and his brother is promising people from India EB2 national interest waiver like it's easy peasy, just giving out candy, but it's not that simple. So, I mean, I'd have to look at your resume. We'd have to talk it through and see. mean, the question you have to ask yourself is, if you're so great, why can't you find an employer to sponsor you for a green card? And why is it in the national interest of the United States to not require you to find an employer like everybody else?
Oh, so the best way would be to find an employer and then asking him to sponsor me.
That's right.
That will be the easiest. Okay.
Yep. Thanks, Akshay. See you, buddy.
Thank you so much, Jim.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right. All right. I don't know. We've had a 2-for-1 sale question and answer on here for a while, so we always appreciate that. All right. Charles is here. Hello, Charles.
Yes, I wasn't sure you were going to, talk to me right away, but I have a couple of questions for you. My wife just did get her citizenship, and so you could say, well, why am I calling you if she got her citizenship? But it seems like the government, we got her passport, but it seems like the government hasn't sent back her citizenship document, the original.
How long ago?
Well, we got the passport back about 10 days ago.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a while. It'll probably be another month or two.
A month or two to get the original document back?
Yeah, I mean, other people will say in the comments how long it took them to get it back from the passport office, but I think it's usually a month or two. Yeah.
Okay. So don't worry about it if in the next month it doesn't come back. One more quick question.
Sure.
You were talking about these different work visas just now, and I'm a political person. I know that having done all the paperwork myself, I know how screwed up our immigration system is, not just at the border, but when you're talking about taking 10 years to do something, that's wrong. We really have to correct this problem. If it means more people in that office, hiring more people, like you hire more border people, it's got to be done. We can't make people be waiting 10 years. Now, on that same note, I have friends from Thailand and Vietnam that somehow they are getting into the country, and they're nice people, and if our country allows it, that's fine, but it must be a loophole. They're going to some kind of employment agency that has deals with Burger King and McDonald's, okay? And they're coming from foreign countries, and maybe I think one person was a Thai person. She went to college here, 4 years of college, graduated. Nobody wanted to give her a job, like you were just talking to that other person. McDonald gave her a job through this employment agency, and after 2 years, she got a 10-year green card. What the hell is all this about?
Well, it's probably an EB-3, unskilled worker green card. In theory, that could work. I mean, sometimes people abuse the rules and bend the rules, but that's entirely possible. That there are employment visas available, green card wise, at those lower level jobs. So it's possible. It's pretty hard to pull off, but it could be.
Well, I know it's happened twice so far. Once to a Thai person here in Georgia, and once to a Vietnam person up in Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, it could all be legit.
Well, I was told by our local person like you, the immigration lawyer, which I did do a couple of consultations with him. I'm in Georgia, and we were talking about why my wife got her citizenship before she ever got a 10-year green card. And we applied 4 years, waiting every year. We get a 2-year extension, 2-year extension, 2-year extension. Never got the 10-year green card, but she qualified because of she came here on a Fiance visa. So she qualified to be a citizen. So she got her citizenship, and they told her, come on, take your citizenship test. And by luck, I went with her because usually the person who's taking the citizenship test, the spouse doesn't sit in that test with them normally. Am I correct?
On the 3-year rule, if you apply on the 3-year rule, oftentimes the spouse will get called in. They won't do much, but we certainly want them to attend and to sort of, be there to show that the marriage is still valid.
Well, you got it. I didn't know that I was supposed to go. I just went with her to give her some support. And then they said, well, we want to talk to you too.
Yeah.
And
that
and she
happens.
said it was because my wife never had the 10-year green card. We want to make sure that, I guess she didn't say legitimate, but
That
it
happens all
was.
the time. That's not unusual, Charles. I'm going to let you go. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for your information. Appreciate it.
Have a great day. All right. All right. So again, if you guys aren't on TikTok, get on over there at Immigration Hacking. I just posted who's been waiting the longest for their spouse to get to the United States. That's what I want to know. Somebody put 3 months, and I was like, "Oh, sister, you got a long time to wait. Sorry about that." All right, let's talk to Duke. Hello, Duke Nguyen. How you doing? You're on mute. You're still on mute. You have to unmute the button. I'll come back. I'll come back. Go to Marcus. Hi, Marcus.
Hey, Jim, are you able to hear me?
I hear you just fine. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the call. Basically, I'm just calling in regards to A6 or IA64, that form that we're filling out.
The old affidavit of support. Yep.
Yep. God help me. Basically, the situation is I'm self-employed. I've had a business for 5 years now, and I know they're looking at the past 3 years of tax returns. So year number 1, 3 years ago is what I'm referring to. I was an LLC, which all the profit flowed through the business. So I have all the evidence there and the income needed. The second year they're going to be looking at, I switched over to paying myself a reasonable salary as an S corporation, an LLC tax as an S corporation. Now that reasonable salary, I only put it at $22,000, which the minimum for a 2-person household, what we need is $24,000. Now this final year, I bumped that up to $30,000. So mainly, and I've watched your videos before and they're awesome. I'm just wondering, and what your videos concerned me, that 1 year is going to give us a problem because it doesn't meet the threshold for the 24,000, only paying myself a salary of 22. I have the assets to make up for that. I have, plenty of money in my checking account and the business bank account, but I'm just wondering, how much is that going to hurt us?
So, I mean, when you're talking about self-employment, I mean, generally for an affidavit of support, the big question is, what do you put for your adjusted gross income? So I get a salary here at Hacking Immigration Law, but I also have a draw. So my overall income is a lot higher than my salary, right? So is that true for you too? Or are you saying that your salary is all that you made that year?
Yeah, see, I live very frugally and below my means, so I didn't take like a K1 out for that year of my salary. I just took the 22,000 and nothing else. So technically on the gross salary, it is 22,000.
Well, then I would go talk to my accountant and say, hey, I'm not sure if I did my taxes correctly. Can we talk about this? And you might want to file an amended tax return.
Yeah, it's a complicated situation because I started the year that year as an LLC, and I saw the accountant brought up to me these tax savings that I could have. So I amended the LLC tax return for
Right.
that.
But I've seen that movie before. A lot of times where people save money on taxes, but they fuck themselves on the I-864. That's the problem.
That's what I'm worried about. And as far in the video that I saw with you, I think it was labeled the government doesn't care if you have $1 million in your checking account.
That's true.
Well, I can make this up with assets because I'm $2,000 short. You times 2 by whatever 4 or 3.
Yeah, but the problem is you can't get them to look at your assets.
Yeah.
And what happens is your case spins into delays for months and months while you fight with them over that. So I would say either redo the taxes or find a co-sponsor.
I gotcha. Originally I filed that second year as an LLC. Is there any way I could just give them that tax return that I?
No, that would be called fraud. No, you don't want to do that. Whatever your
Okay.
legit tax return is, that's what you got to. You don't want to do that because that's a whole other can of worms.
Gotcha. So you're really thinking, even if I have a bunch of money in the checking account, they're not going to care about that. I need to probably find the co-sponsor.
Yep.
And then last question for you: do they average out those 3 years, or what you said? It's
No.
always
One bad year and you're out.
Okay. Damn.
Yep.
Any other general advice for me with this?
I think you probably need a new accountant because it sounds like that whole paying myself 22,000 but running everything through my company, that can get you in other kinds of trouble. So I would probably find a new accountant.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
Bye, Marcus. See you, buddy. All right, let's go back to Ms. Nguyen. Are you there? Can you unmute yourself? No, there should be a button right there where you just hit unmute. I don't know how that all works. So, all right, let's go to Sack. Hello, Sack.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Well, thank you for picking my call.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to find out when you're filing, I mean, when you're filling in the form, the I-30, I-30, is it I-130A?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a part where it says beneficiary spouse, children. So that part, we were confused. Is it the foreign spouse or the American citizen?
Okay, let's pull it up. All right, so I'm going to pull up the form right now. Can you see my screen? Hold on, here it comes. All right. So the I-130A is a form that the U.S. citizen files about their spouse. So this is all about the spouse beneficiary, right? So which page is the question you have about?
Where it says beneficiaries children, like the spouse, children, something like that.
All right, let me see. I see information about your parents, information about your employment, information about your employments outside the United States. I don't see anything about children on the I-130A. You said the I-130A, right?
Yeah, does that say anything about the children?
I don't see anything.
Which form is that then? Let me check, because there's a form that says beneficiary spouse, children.
Maybe it's the I-130 itself.
I-130 itself. So, well, which children is it? Because I have 2 children and my spouse has 3 children. So do we all put the 5 kids there, or it's just for the beneficiaries?
Generally, you're never going to go wrong by listing all kids. That's never a bad idea. But let me all right. So here's the I-130 itself. This is about the petitioner and then the beneficiary. This is about you, the petitioner, marital information, name of all your spouses, information about your parents, your employment history, biographic information, information about the beneficiary's physical address, beneficiary's marital information, place of the marriage, and then please provide information about the beneficiary's spouse and children. So this is where you list the spouse again, the current spouse, and then you list the children. So I know it sounds dumb, but they're asking who's the beneficiary's spouse. You would list the person, the petitioner here again in person number 1. Then person number 2 would be the oldest kid. Person number 3 would be the second oldest kid, and you list all of them.
So that's for my wife's kids, right? Because I'm the beneficiary. I'm the foreign spouse.
No, that section is all about you, the beneficiary, about your kids.
Oh, okay. So that part will only put my kids. So if I have 2 kids, she only puts 2 kids, my kids only.
Well, it depends how you consider them your kid. Do you consider her kids your kids? I mean, I think that, once you're married, there's an argument that they're your kids too. So I think that it's better to list all the kids.
So now, if we go back on the affidavit of support, where it talks about the households, there's we like how many are we? It's me, my spouse, and her 3 kids, which is my step kids, and then my kids are in Africa. So when it says a household, are my kids who are in Africa included, or it's just the ones that are here?
The ones that live with you and the ones that are on your tax returns or her tax returns.
Oh, okay, that's it. Okay.
All
Because
right.
I was
Thanks,
I was
Zach.
wondering.
See you,
All right.
buddy.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, bye. Evinko is here. Hello, Evinko.
Hi, Jim.
How are you doing?
Thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for all the help you've been giving to immigrants.
Sure.
Yeah, so my wife, she won the lottery in 2015. Then we got married in 2016 back in Cameroon. Then she traveled to America. Then but I got my own green card through Asylum. So then she got her citizenship in April 2022,
Yeah.
and I got my green card in September 2021. So my question is, when can I file in
Oh.
petition for the citizenship?
Okay, so I like this question. So this is how I think about it. You ready?
Yes.
So you take the day. So she became a citizen before you got your green card, right?
No, I got my green card. That should be in September 2021, and she became a citizen in April 2022.
Okay, so you got yours when? You got your green card when?
In September 2021.
And she became a citizen
In April 2022.
So you can apply in April of 2025.
Okay, April of 2025.
So the question will be on the day you file, has she been a citizen for 3 years? Yes. And have you had your green card for 3 years? Yes. Both those things have to be true for you to take advantage of that.
Can you please say that again?
Yeah. So you can apply on April of 2025, after the 3-year anniversary of her becoming a citizen, because you need both things to be true. You need for her to be a citizen for 3 years, and you need to have your green card for at least 3 years. So the first day both of those are true is in April of 2025.
All right. Thank you. Then my last question,
yeah.
Since I got my green card through Asylum, when can I petition for my mother?
You can't apply for your mother until she becomes until you become a U.S. citizen.
Okay, that's clear. Because I did that as a green card, but it was rejected. So I was like, maybe there's a problem somewhere.
Green card holders can't sponsor their parents. Only U.S. citizens can sponsor their parents. It's one of the benefits of citizenship.
Okay, Jim, thanks so much for your help.
Bye, Vinko. See you, buddy.
See you.
All right, let's go back to Ms. Nguyen again. Let's see.
Hi.
I think. Hey, how are you?
Hi,
I can
you
hear
hear me?
Can. How are
Yeah,
you?
thank you. I'm fine, and thanks for the opportunities. And also, I take this chance to thanks for all the shows and the videos. Actually, I saw your videos on preparation for the interview before 24 hours, and it worked for me very well. And I got the green card now. So thanks very much for all these things.
That makes me happy.
And my question now is for my husband case. My daughter, U.S. citizen, submit the petition for him and for me in January 22, and he got denied for the first time in March 2023. And then my daughter submit another a new petition for him again in April 2023, but then after that, according to one lawyer's advisor, we submit the I-290B for him for reopening, and then recently he got a letter of intent to deny because with the reason is he is for his past Communist Party membership, and he is still in a 5 years bar, and actually when he submit the I-290, he has already submit more information and facts to improve that he is involuntary, and also he sees all the participations in the Communist parties in 2019. But he because I translate the declaration for him and I picked up the wrong words. He tried to prove that he joined the Communist Party due to for the sake of higher education and promotion to a higher salary brackets, and he must join the Communist Party as a rule of his employers. But I pick up one word wrong, that's for often employment. So they question him that why he joined the office. He joined the office in 1984, and then he joined the Communist Party until 1990. So that's why he volunteer to join the parties, not involunteer. That's the reason they gave. And now, and actually, it's, with the declaration for the I-290s, we also found that we didn't provide enough information and facts for them. So now when we get the intent, the notes, and then we are preparing the new the additional informations for and facts in response to the letters. But I wonder if it helped him or yeah. The first question is whether the additional question information may help him, and I also he tried to prove that he actually ceased to be the member of the parties in 2019, because according to the rule of the parties, anybody stopped to participate in the party for 3 months and without paying, then their membership should be terminated at the authorities' discretion. So, but he didn't ask for the decision of termination at the time because he didn't need it. And then only in 2022, when my daughter submitted the petition for him, he requested the authority to provide a decision for him. So he only can get the decision signed in 2022. So so that's why the USCIS now, based on the decision, said that he is still in the 5-year bar. So
yeah, I think this is the problem. Is the dad overseas or is he in the United States?
yes.
Yes, what?
Pardon me.
Is he in the United States or
yes.
out? He's over.
Yes, he's in the United States. He's still in the United States.
On a visit visa?
Yes.
Okay. So what you're telling me is he was in the Communist Party from 1984 until either 2019 or 2022.
He became the membership in 1990.
Okay, so
and he joined the office in 1984.
Okay, so what's your question for me? I don't think this case is going to be approved.
Yeah, my question is what he can do now?
I think he has to wait until he's got 5 years of no membership in the Communist Party and then apply again.
If he submit the rules, an extraction of the rules of the party for being inactive for 3 months to be terminated, to terminate the membership, is it good enough?
You can try.
Okay.
You can try, but when did you file this I-130? When was it filed?
The first time in January.
The second one. The second one.
The second one is March 26th of 2023.
So even if he got out in 2019, that case is a loser too. You have to be eligible on the day you apply.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you filed the motion to reopen or reconsider, what was your argument? What mistake do you think that they made? I don't know that they made a mistake.
Yeah, because I think that the mistake I made when I translate, I pick up just the one sentence, one paragraph from the
Yeah,
letters.
I mean, that's why you shouldn't have been translating it anyway.
Yeah.
You should have had an outside translator. You don't have family members translate stuff. I got to go. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Then can he is it useful for him to upload the additional information that he is now
But it sounds
going
like a
to?
loser. It sounds like a loser. You when you applied, he hadn't been out 5 years, even by your own. Even if they accept the argument that he was effectively removed from the party rolls in 2019, you applied in 2023. That's only 4 years.
So it should be 5 years back, right?
Yeah, but who knows if it's 2019 or 2022? I don't know.
Do you think what we can prove? What is the sounding evidence we can prove?
That's all I got. I got all I got. I think you've done everything you can do. I don't think there's much more to do. I'm sorry about that. I wish there was more to do, but I don't think they want to approve that case. Vikas is here. Hello, Vikas.
Hello.
How are you doing?
No, not good.
What's up?
I'm really got tired. I don't know what to do now. Why US government made everything so difficult?
Because that's their job.
All those people who want to live with their spouse.
Do you have a question for me, Vikas? We got.
Yes.
What's the question?
He applied K1 for me. I don't think it's gonna work. So
right, we talked about
what
this.
we can do now.
Oh, Vikas, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Well, if your fiance case is over, then your only chance is to get married and file a spouse-based petition.
And how much time it will take?
Probably 2 years.
Oh, we waited already a lot. We know each other more than 5 years.
Right, I know.
And what is the fastest way?
Do you have a question for me?
Yes, what we can do mean that
I just told you.
I don't need anything. We just want to live together. That's all.
Yeah, but you want to live together in the United States. And don't forget, what was the age gap on your case?
32 something.
Yeah. So, I mean, your only shot. I mean, I would have told you never wait on a fiance case on something like that. Your only shot is getting married.
Another country?
Well, whatever. I don't care where you get married. I'm just saying that the only way you're ever going to come to the United States is for the embassy to believe that you're getting married for love, not just to get a green card. They're not going to believe the marriage.
I don't need it.
Well, they don't believe you, though.
So we need to apply another that spouse visa or something.
Well, first you have to get married, and then you have to file.
And then go back to my country and wait.
Well, where are you right now?
In India.
Yeah, so either your spouse comes to you or you meet in a third country, you get married, and then your spouse comes back to the United States and files an I-130 petition.
That's really bad. I just want to say one thing. What US government doing to people? That's rude. This is not right. There are lots of people, they are struggling. And they gave visa bad people. They came to United States illegally, and they are living over there without any.
All right. Mr. Jim does not have the key to the USA kingdom. That is true. I do not. Because I think, check out the comments. I think the people want you to just go ahead and get married and follow the rules like everybody else. All right. Farouk is here. Hello, Farouk.
Yes. Hey, Jim, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good. So I have actually two things to talk about, and I do have questions on those.
Okay.
The first one is that I got married like 1.5 years ago, and I still haven't filed I-130. And the second thing is that, I just had baby boy couple months back, and I wanted to do the CRBA as well. So I am the U.S. citizen, and I have been U.S. citizen for last like 6 years, and I got my U.S. citizenship through the naturalization process. So my first question is, if I want to submit the I-130 and also the CRBA, can I do both at the same time? It will not affect each other.
Well, I think the big question is, why have you waited a year and a half and not filed the I-130?
Because I did not get time. I was so extremely busy on my job and also the business. So I was busy.
Does your spouse not want to come to the United States?
She does want to come now, but since we have baby.
I think USCIS might think it's weird you waited a year and a half, and I think you're actually going to end up waiting longer, extra long, because they're going to say, this is weird. Why didn't he file for her right away?
Correct. So what do you suggest? Should I submit like I-130 first, or should I submit the CRBA first?
CRBA, you don't even submit. You do that all through the embassy. That's not a big deal. You can start that 6 months from now. You can start it now. The two things are completely unrelated.
Got it. But the reason why I was asking this, if I submit I-130 and then add the child in that I-130, they will start the green card process on the child as well instead of.
No, that's not true, because that child would need their own I-130. You have to list the child.
Okay.
But
So
again, this is why you should have filed the I-130 before things got complicated by having a kid.
Correct. But right now, the options that I have is like I can submit the I-130 and then also CRBA.
Yeah.
Sure. And then one question is that I know the CRBA, like we have to go to the U.S. Embassy in Pakistan, in Islamabad. So I live in the United States. So if I am not there, can my wife go with my baby to the embassy?
I don't know the answer to that question. Some other people in the comments might know. Our office doesn't handle that because it's something you don't need a lawyer for. In my experience, it's usually the U.S. citizen actively involved in it. I don't know that it actually involves a visit to the embassy, though. So I'm just not sure.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, hurry up, Farouk. Get that I-130 on file, man.
Sure. Thank you very much. I also just wanted to submit.
All right, Yellow Bina, let's go. All right, Sammy's here. Hello, Sammy.
Hello, Mr. Jimmy. How are you?
Are you driving?
No. I was just trying to pull over right now. Okay. Hello.
All right. So what's up?
Cool. How are you, sir? Okay. My question is, since I filed for my I-485, and I was trying to ask a question about this, like biometric, like, do you know how long does it take?
What kind of it's a 45? What kind of 45?
Yeah, yes, for based on asylum.
Okay, and when did you file?
It was August 14th, 2023.
Yeah, that's going to take at least a year, probably closer to a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
That's it?
Yeah.
Thank you, Sammy.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll go from Sammy to Bammy. What's up, Bammy? Hello, Bammy. You're on mute. We can't hear you. Mohsen Nasir knows that Shabbat. We've connected them. Don't worry about that, Mohsen. Bammy's not here. All right. Let's go to Mustafa. Hello, Mustafa. Hello, Mustafa.
Yeah. Hello.
Go ahead.
How's it going, Jim?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. So my family, we're Canadian citizens. My mom's brother, so my uncle, he filed for us back in 2007 for an F4 like immigration case. So, our priority date's in about like 2 months, but it's like going really slow. So my mom was wondering if it's a good idea to adjust status since we're in the States right now. So I was just wondering, would that have any like effects on our current case?
You can't unless it becomes current.
So like, are you talking about the first chart on the visa bulletin?
Yeah.
Okay, because we spoke like with some lawyers before, and they said that it's currently following the second chart. So, and that's current for us right now. So,
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So, when did you enter?
we entered in November
18th.
Yeah.
So, when you're talking about something as serious as trying to adjust status in the United States on a family-based preference category petition, there's no way in hell that I could tell you that over the phone without being your lawyer. Like, I would never go out on a limb and tell you that because it's a risky proposition. It's usually safer to do it all through the embassy. I'd be a little bit worried about trying to adjust. I think there's things that can go wrong, and so it would be irresponsible of me to tell you yes or no on this show.
Okay.
In
So,
other words, it's too important to just
okay.
say
So, is there
yeah.
any way to contact you like privately?
Well, so people contact our office because they want to hire us. If you want us to be your attorney, we can certainly talk about that. But if you're just calling to get advice, I have this show and I give the advice that I know. If I don't know the answer, I don't go off and research it for people unless I think it can help lots of other people. So generally, I'm against the plan that you're saying. Generally, it makes me really nervous on a really old petition to think that you're just going to hang out here. I mean, it could take another year and a half for you. You could apply for the work card and travel document, but USCIS is not used to adjusting people on these long petitions, and I've just seen too many things go awry. So this is one of those things where technically you can do it, but it's probably a bad idea. I'm not going to say don't do it, but I'm saying that you need to be really, really careful.
Okay. So if things go awry, right? Like, that would have an effect on the other case? Like,
If there's only one case. There's only one case. If you try to adjust, that's still your same old I-130.
Okay.
Okay, any movement over here on that?
Okay. Thank you,
I
Jim.
haven't seen any. Yep. Thanks, Mustafa. Bye, buddy. All right. Mr. T is here. Hello, Mr. T.
Hello. Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
Very good. Just a quick question. Is it true that passing the civics and English test on the N400 is valid for 2 years? As in, if you have to retake, if you have to reapply for the N400,
I've never heard that. I've never heard that.
No.
My understanding is you have to take the test all over again.
Okay. Now, second question. Yesterday, you explained the 130 and 130A and the 684. Yes. Well, if you bring in someone from overseas, the forms to fill, I think it was the last caller yesterday, 130 and then 130A. You did say 130 and the 130A. And then I'm not sure if I heard you right, but do you file the 130, 130A and the 864 concurrently, or you?
No, just the I-130 and the I-130A. The I-64 is later when you get to the National Visa Center.
Oh, so you never file it all concurrently?
For an overseas case?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
No, because USCIS doesn't make that determination. That's all the State Department.
What happens if you do?
Then nothing.
Okay, it doesn't go against you, or it does go against you?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Hey, real quick before you go, you got to change those batteries in your smoke detector.
Yes, sir. Will do.
Don't forget. See ya.
Yes, thank you.
All right. The other Shabazz is here. What's up, other Shabazz?
Oh, hi, Jim. How are you today?
I'm okay.
Jim, I spoke to you on episode 476, and you had mentioned that something came across your desk with reference to speeding tickets, and I was supposed to remind you to talk about it. Do you at all remember anything about that?
No.
How the citations are listed, worded differently? No? Okay. No? Okay. The other thing I noticed, I'll only take another minute. A guy came on your show yesterday about Michigan and first cousin marriage and something like that. You remember?
I do.
Okay. So I did a lot of research on that because I had the same situation. You were right what you told him. Although they could go get married in another state, the law says you can't reside together in
Mm.
Michigan. Yeah, you were right about that. I think he was kind of getting it mixed up. He could do it there, get married there, and then come back, but they'll really give him a hard time. I did my research on that. You were right about that. And the one last thing, another young lady on your show asked you a question where she moved to Canada from America. She was on J1, and she said she couldn't get any record of her exit. So I wanted to share this with you. You probably already know, but for the audience, whenever people leave Canada, come to America, or they leave vice versa, both these borders, they have record of your entry and exit. And you could get that from either the CBP website or through almost like a FOIA with the Canadian Border Services. So she can do that if she wants her exact day and time of exit.
That's very helpful. Thank you, Shabazz.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. We'll catch you next time.
Okay, bye, buddy.
Bye.
Carolina, I see you there. Are you driving or not? Are you not driving? I hope you're not driving. How you doing?
I am not doing very well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
I just need your help with a very quick question. How do you get your AOS process kind of unstuck?
Uh-oh. You called the right place. Tell me what's going on.
So I did my concurrent filing and my receipt notice is July 5th of 2023. On August 1st, I got an RFE where they said they did not have my financials, like my affidavit of support and joint sponsor. So I reprinted everything and resent it because it had already been sent. I didn't know if my issue was because my joint sponsor is retired, and I think sometimes they don't understand that. But so I used my USCIS portal and I uploaded all the RFE response, and that was on August 4th.
So I think I have a video. If not, I'm going to go make one. I'm shooting some videos after this show today. So if anybody has ideas for things you want on video, you got about 8 minutes to leave me a comment, and maybe I'll shoot a video about that. But I think I have a video about I-864s in particular when they seem to ask for things that they already have, right? When USCIS sends you an I-864 for things that you've already submitted, that to me is a secret code that they expect you to figure out, that they're actually saying what you've sent us is incorrect or insufficient. Not that you don't have enough evidence, but that the person that you're trying to use as a sponsor or as a co-sponsor doesn't make enough money or doesn't have the right documentation. So when we get a RFE on a case about an affidavit of support, like literally they just put, you know this because you saw it, they just put all this block text of all this other shit that has nothing to do with your case or your RFE, and you're like, where in here are they even telling me what's wrong, right? So when that happens, you have to treat it as if there's something fundamentally flawed with what you sent them, and you have to send them new stuff. Usually that's a new co-sponsor. Now, you know, for a retired person, they're used to retired people, but was the person working? Do they have actual adjusted income, or do they just have a bunch of assets that you're trying to rely on?
No, regular income. Is a retired teacher from Missouri, so pension is over $90,000 a month.
So on his tax returns
year,
on line
sorry.
20, not on his tax returns, line 21, where it says adjusted gross income, it says 91,000.
That was 81,000.
81,000. It says 81,000.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for all 3 years.
Yeah. Well, it increased.
Yeah. But all 3 years he qualified.
Oh yeah.
Then that tells me something's being filled out wrong on the form. There's something wrong. Sometimes they make a mistake and send you a request for evidence on affidavit of support. But generally, in my experience, there's usually something wrong, and you literally like you have to go over everything very carefully to find out where it could just be one little flaw. But they send you that 30-page RFE, and they don't tell you what's really wrong.
Yeah, when I went over it, because my spouse does not make enough. So they said, your spouse does not qualify. and we don't see a tax return from your spouse, and then your joint sponsor, and they renamed the joint sponsor that I had used,
Joe
does
Bull.
not does not have the proof of income. So, which we had added the, what do you call that, like retire statement, benefits statement, something.
Yeah.
So I added everything again, and it was included in the original filing, but I
Well,
added
but you
everything
just
again.
gave me another clue.
Okay.
So the petitioner, your spouse, they
Mhm.
haven't filed taxes for the last 3 years?
No, they have. It's just the amount of income was just not good at all. I'm
So
actually earning much more than my spouse.
so you submitted your spouse's tax returns for the last 3 years, and you put in there it was 12,000, it was 16,000, it was 12,000.
I did, yeah.
Did you send in tax transcripts?
No, the whole 1040 and the 1099s and W-2s.
So I've had more than one immigration officer tell me that tax returns themselves are insufficient evidence that the taxes were actually paid. So I think that what you might have, you already sent in the RFE response?
Yeah, that was August 4th of last year.
Wow.
So I sent it
So
online.
you haven't gotten your work card or anything?
I did actually in November, like 2 days before Thanksgiving. I got the combo card.
So that tells me that they're happy with your affidavit of support, because usually they hold the EAD until they're sure that the taxes and everything are sufficient. So I think that you might just be waiting.
Right.
If you have the work card, I think that's okay. I think so. They haven't said anything else about the taxes since you responded to the RFE.
Nothing, absolutely nothing. And I was wondering, we've continued to gather evidence,
Yeah, that's
and
good.
I thought, should
Were
I
you?
just go in the portal and upload it just anyways?
Yeah, go ahead. Were you in status at the time that you filed?
Yes, I'm an asylum applicant.
Okay, so that's not status. It's for purpose of
Well,
adjustment.
yeah,
Yeah. So, and it's a U.S. citizen that you're married to?
yes.
And so even if you applied for asylum within 1 year of arrival or while you were still on your
Mhm.
B1, B2 visit visa or whatever, once you stopped having that status, whatever that was that you entered, then they're treating you as a visa overstay, and I think it's put on this fraud track. Even though you had asylum, even though you applied for asylum, it's on this different track. Plus, there's the other piece of there are some officers who don't like to approve marriage-based I-130s unless they go back and look at the asylum application. So I'm not surprised. What's your actual receipt date for the I-130 and the 45?
July 5th.
Yeah, so I don't think you have anything to worry about until July.
Okay.
All right.
I've seen all your videos, and I'm
Yeah.
here and I know when other people say, but my friends sent their adjustment of status in November, and today they got approved. And my other neighbors sent theirs in October, and they got approved in mid-January. So I was like, did I do something wrong?
Well, I think we can't underestimate the complexity of an asylum case. I think that this adds a whole new level of it. Up until 4 years ago, the asylum office was completely walled off from USCIS. So they're still working through how do we meld asylum cases with marriage-based cases. So I think you're doing fine.
Okay.
Hey, now listen, is that Hello Kitty? Is that Chinese New Year stuff on your?
Yes, I love cats.
Nice. I love it. And I like your hearts on the back window.
I had to do something for Valentine's and decorate. My spouse
great.
hates it, but I was
That's
just
great.
all over it. Thank you.
Awesome. Have a good day. Keep us posted, okay?
Thank
Let us know
you.
when you get that green card.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I call you my spiritual guide.
Nice.
So say to
All
my
right.
spouse, I'm listening to my spiritual guide. So thank you.
All right. See ya. All right. Listen, now there's been an interesting set of comments going on in the back. And I get the sense that some people get frustrated about people coming on this show and complaining. I think it's okay for people to come on this show and complain. I'm okay with that. Some of the people, listen, going through the immigration process can be very, very lonely, and people feel like they're completely on their own. They feel like they can't get any help, and I'm okay up to a point with listening to people talk about how hard this is. I agree with exactly what Nurse Laura said, which is you're going to get all the sympathy in the world from this group until you start attacking other immigrants. Because remember, we don't play that game here. We don't play that game of good immigrants over here, bad immigrants over here, illegals over here, I'm over here. You know, as soon as somebody says, but they're coming across the border in Mexico and they're becoming citizens 3 days later and they're getting a big fat check and they're getting all these meals and everything. That's just a bunch of crap from right-wing media, right? So we don't play that game of who's got it harder. That's a game my kids like to play. Let's play a little game called Who's Got It Harder. We love all immigrants. We're here for all immigrants. We're here for all of you going through it. I want to make everybody's life easier. I want to ease everybody's suffering. And so we'll listen to you up to a point. We want you to do your best and to follow all the rules and do what you can to make your case stronger and better. But that's right. Raphael's exactly right. Immigration is not a zero-sum game. Just because someone else is getting a benefit doesn't mean you're screwed. And if you walk through life saying to yourself, oh, everything's unfair, everything's bad, everything bad happens to me, then it's going to be a really, really sad existence for you. I would encourage you to turn that anger inward onto the people that are making things the way that they are, right? Make the people that are making things the way they are. Who's benefiting from the current system? Why is the current system not being fixed? Why will politicians not do it? And in my mind, it's really because of gerrymandering, because we're letting the politicians draw up their own districts. I had a friend who was running for Congress, and I told him what street I lived on and what block on that street I lived on, and he knew how everybody voted on that street. So with the technological ability of politicians to know who votes how and where they live, letting those nuts set our boundaries is insane, because I live in a district that's 60% Republican, 40% Democrat. There's a different district here in St. Louis that's the opposite of that, 70% Democrat, 30% Republican. And you know what that means? Nobody has to listen to each other, because Ann Wagner doesn't need to listen to me when I complain, and Republicans get no love in the first congressional district in Missouri. So as long as we're sending people who are more extreme on either side to Congress and have no reason to work in the middle, it's just never going to happen. So I always liked the idea in Iowa, what they used to do, I don't know if they still do, but what they used to do is they had 6 congressional districts. They cut the state in half and they cut it like a pizza into 6 squares. And that's how it was. And that's how it should be. And until we take the money out of politics and stop letting the politicians control everything, immigration ain't going to get fixed. And until we vote and pick politicians who support our position, nothing's going to change. So this is going to be one of the most important election years of our lifetime. I hope you're engaged. If you're a U.S. citizen, I hope you plan on voting. And with that, we'll end today's show. I'll be back tomorrow, 4 o'clock. I think, like I said, I think we're going to do a show every day between now and next Wednesday. So stay tuned. I think I'm going to do a show every day for the next 8 days. So hope you all have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.